Alrighty, folks, Nucks are being bumped here as Open Doubles continues with the 2024 Tornado Foosball Championships. On the left-hand side, up front, that is Jacob Balcos. At nets for Jacob, Dylan Marshall. On the right at nets, Cody Byre. Up front, your new world champion, Trevor Park, who put that away last night against Ryan Moore. I am still recovering from that one, Clay.
Yeah.
See him on that tear all weekend, just on fire. See if he continues that now in Open Doubles. Of course, famously, the chances that he had in the early 2000s and at Worlds, a point away, was all in Open Doubles against the greatest Open Doubles team of all time at Worlds, Collignon, Lofredo. But he sealed the deal here this weekend in Open Singles, defeating, in this order, Tony Sprademan, Tommy Yore, and then Ryan Moore. Whoa. You don't need much more of a resume to say, yeah, I'm a world champ than beating those three in a row.
15 games and overtime.
Some of the most exciting foosball I have ever watched. Here, though, in this 3 out of 5, overtime in the 5th. We'll see how this unfolds. Byre, of course. Now he lives in, where, Ohio?
Yep.
By way of the Pacific Northwest. Consummate fooser. Smart goalie. Fun to watch do banks. As these two teams begin to just feel each other out here. I flash back into Trevor Park just getting wall pass after wall pass against pretty much everybody in singles. He does have a smooth 5. As far as this match is concerned, though, Clay, do you have an outcome in mind? Do you think it can go either way?
I definitely think it could go either way. Clearly the favorite is Trevor and Cody. I think Trevor's game this weekend it's above normal even for him. Like, he's playing out of his mind this weekend, so he's bringing that into this match. Of course, Cody is very reliable, very good. He will not be the reason that you lose. He's not going to be giving the ball up for free, anything like that. So he's going to be solid. On the other side of the table, Jacob can pass. He's got a lot of offense, and Dylan Marshall has one of the scariest 2 bars in the game.
3-2. Park and Byre. Yep, Marshall does have an incredible 2-bar. Not somebody we see on tour a whole bunch. But he does have a monstrous 2-bar. Byre has a surgical 2-bar, I think. He's not going to be bombing shots, which he can, though. I mean, just pull shots, push shots. But his banks, he has a very good bank series. I don't know. I think he stuffed that one.
I think he was trying to pass it to the 3-bar, and he just didn't hit it hard enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Like a fake bank into a... I think that's the name of that shot, by the way.
Yeah. But it only works if you do the hand motion.
Yeah. Yeah, they can't see that. They can feel it.
Yeah. Balcos. Yes. Feeling it now. 4-2. I think the X factor here for me is going to be Balcos' momentum. He's a momentum player. Can Park and Byre stop it?
Ever. $1,000 and an apology.
Ready? Yeah.
Chicken.
4-2 in favor of Balcos and Marshall.
That was a sexy pass.
That was. To be able to move the ball
Yeah.
that quickly and then fake your direction with the man, incredible.
This is going to be. They're going to get a ref soon.
What do you think, Trevor? 'Cause I went for the ball, but it was about like that. I didn't hit it any harder.
Oh, we don't have anything past 5 seconds left.
Probably.
Is there any way
Did you hit the ball?
is there any way to look at that?
Do you want to look at it?
Huh?
Did you hit the ball? Yeah, you did it.
I hit it.
All right, they're going to come up here and look at it,
I think
folks.
I did. Pretty good.
There we go. Muted myself. And I think Cody is, I think, more sensitive than your average bear. Dylan is definitely more heavy-handed than your average bear. At a glance, I think I'm probably going to default to it being a jar. But we slowed it down, and the stream didn't see this, but we saw it clear as day.
Yeah.
When Dylan hit the wall, which he definitely did, the ball's not even out of his zone yet. And no need to get a ref. They defaulted to us, which just kind of speeds things along, which we appreciate. But I think in this match, if I'm Cody, I just get a ref because there will be more. Dylan is not soft-handed. And don't misunderstand that. That's not to say that he's jarring people all the time, but he's going to hit the wall. And you're going to have to figure out what's a jar and what's not.
Balcos and Marshall put that first one away, go up 1-0. And to clarify, they deferred to us. I mean, they agreed to go with what we were saying. Yeah. It wasn't just like, no, you must do this.
Yeah, well, Trevor asked what are our options. I said, you can get a ref. You can agree on it together. You can ask other people for input. By the way, this is all clearly stated in the rules. There's no ambiguity
Yeah. Heck yeah.
about this. Check me out.
Yeah,
That's a lot of syllables, man. And that's a lot of syllables, brother.
Sprayed him in.
And by way of Steve Murray and Hulk Hogan,
He gets around.
and so I said that you can get a ref. We can help, but it starts with the players agreeing on it. So if one player asks, and by the way, if you're ever watching a match and one of the players asks you for input, just check with the other player saying, do you want me to give input? Because the answer might be no. They might just rather go get a ref. And if you give the wrong answer before you get that consent, it might just be a waste of time. So, which is what we did. I said, if y'all both agreed to it, and they're like, yeah, that's fine. So they let us make the call. No jar, on we go. Why don't you let me? Oh, I can't sing that song on stream. Yikes. I'll need to send it to you. I'm pretty sure I already have, but
Game 2 underway. Park and Byre switch sides. Recall last night, Park playing on this table, not liking that side.
everybody hates the black side on this table.
Marshall, shot position. We see Balcos and Marshall won that first game, and it wasn't a squeaker. They just won it. But now we see what Park and Byre and their response here.
We're just speaking at some numbers here. And it's short sample, just one game plus. Balcos passing very well so far. 5 for 8, 60%. 3 for 9 is subpar for Trevor on a normal weekend. Definitely subpar this weekend for him. But it's early. Lots of foosball left.
Cody putting up a pattern, having nothing to do with any of those fakes that Balcos is throwing at him. And you see that little slider pass from the middle.
He has so many options, and I was talking about this matchup before this match began and trying to describe Cody. He's a master, very good, very skilled, wins a lot. And his game is also it's almost impossible for like pro and below to even compete with because he has so many options and he's able to do so many things. And I think often you do see it kind of peter out a little bit at the top levels against the top defensive players where those banks and the options and the passes that worked so well before that, they just kind of stop working. And he's still good. You still got to beat him, and he's, I think, a great partner for Trevor. And they're a strong team. But I think if you see him play against pros, you're like, this is this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. The banks, the passes, everything. And then when you get to this level, and Jacob and Dylan are both pros, so this is where it kind of starts changing. And those clears, which right now he's clearing 2 for 9, 22%, that's not a good clearing percentage for a goalie. And this is where those things stop working a little bit. And I hope that's said in a reasonably respectful way. You know what I'm saying, right?
You said that, I was about to say, you said that incredibly well. I can't think of a better way to state what you just said. Very well done. 1-1, and you see the switch now. Byre up front. Park looking to put up a different defense against Balcos.
That's a sexy pass right here. Bops it off this first guy and then just brushes it down with the second guy. That's super sneaky.
Trevor now back up front. Hard along the wall to the rollover position. Down by 1. See if he wants to establish a middle. Tap away, back to the near.
And on that last switch, they had both timeouts. Cody got it on his 3-bar and he shot it. And I don't know if that's a conversation they had prior to this match or if it's just part of their game plan, but they had both timeouts and Trevor was shooting 3 for 5 at that point. And so typically you'll see the timeout on the 3-bar almost always, and maybe not on the 5-bar. Calls a timeout on the 5-bar here. I'd like to know if that was part of their game plan or if Cody was just feeling like it. And, of course, Trevor's not going to. I mean, he's pretty chill, pretty mellow. He's not going to get real mad and say anything about it if that was against their plan.
Right. And these guys, I say this about Trevor's 5. His options have options have options. And Cody, these two have game plans that have game plans that have game plans. They are thinkers. Trevor, though, I don't quite understand what he says when he talks about foosball, but that's just Trevor's mind. Cody, though, very methodical. Not surprised if he has some Excel spreadsheet somewhere.
Yeah.
About foosball, just foosball.xlsx.
Run that through a VPN. I wonder if Trevor heard the interview of him after his win last night.
I forgot about that. Now up 3-2, Park and Byre.
He called timeout last time he had it on his 5. Going to burn another one here. And it begs the question, at least in my brain, after he greenlit the 3-bar shot and didn't score, I wonder if Trevor did say, call timeout next time. Mm-hmm. Or Cody, being a smart player, might just know that's the play. He might not need to be told that.
Yeah, at this level, playing for that long. Into it, like we saw earlier, McMillan and Gummison, when they were playing the Burmettlers, they just switched. They knew. There was no question. There was not even any eye contact, which I prefer.
What do you guys? Yes.
Trevor, ball back into play, out of the timeout, out of timeouts. Battling for dominance.
Some love in the chat there. It's always nice to see. Appreciate you.
Absolutely appreciate that. Wow.
That's a few of those. That was fortunate to get through. That's a few of those that just didn't get quite enough stank behind. And it is a clear. That takes him up to 36% clearing, which is abysmal.
Yeah.
And that'll come up as the match goes forward for sure. He's struggling to clear so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the big difference here, right?
Yeah, of
that
course.
clearing is not good.
Not good.
Oh, Park swats it back to his 3. Four 2. Business-like.
Ready?
Here comes the pressure for Balcos from a player like Trevor, who's dancing, weaving through the lane to the rollover position out of timeouts. Has to take it. You are right, Clay. You said this yesterday. He really gets down on that handle real fast.
Drop and pop.
Bloop. Oh my gosh. Same area, same hole, different look. Rollover position. Loses it.
I was looking away I thought he called a third timeout because I saw his body come up. And you know, there's only one thing in foosball I love more than a third timeout, and that's a third wall. But you really won't see anymore because of that new rule change.
Yeah.
I love a third timeout, though. Talking the other day about bendy rods when people shoot. Dylan Marshall is another one of those who, if he gets a hold of one on his 2-bar, that 2-bar turns into a rainbow.
Balcos blocked a rainbow. What do you mean?
A rainbow. Like the rod just bends.
Oh, yes, yeah.
If you're having video problems, feel bad for your son. You got a few million frames, but a drop one ain't one.
Wow. It's like nerdcore meets rap.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Tupac, nerdcore.
Balcos.
He might call a timeout here.
It should. It's a different look from him.
Oh, he did that.
He did. Byre.
Wow.
Great series there. See, Balcos was moving on purpose. He wasn't just tapping around hoping for something to happen.
Right.
He sold that.
Yep.
Park continues in the 5-bar passing.
This is where you see Dylan just destroy this pull kick from the back. It's terrifying.
Ends up on the 3 of Balcos. Park is having opportunities to put away the second game, but you have to, if I may quote a movie and a play, always be closing. Balcos is trying to be closing here, 4-4. They were down by 2. Wow. Park continues to impress on the 5. However, this is his 3rd game ball opportunity. 4th game ball opportunity. Puts that away, and now we are tied up 1-1 in game count.
And that's before the rollover messed it up.
Yep.
And we're back.
1-1 in game count. Balcos and Marshall won the first one. Park and Byre came back, although Balcos and Marshall almost came back in the second game. Trevor finally put it away. Now they're on the other side. There was a question earlier in chat why nobody likes the black side. I don't necessarily know. I haven't played on it.
I can tell you.
What is the issue?
So starting back in Vegas, the 2-bar on this table. This is the same one that was table 1 in Vegas. Out of the box, there was an issue with the 2-bar that they fixed, but players also did complain about it throughout the weekend. And I think some of that's in their head. Once you know there's an issue, it's easier to just see an issue even though it's not there. But the black 2-bar was a source of many complaints from the top players there, and also some of those complaints kind of persisted through the next few tournaments. This weekend, the 3-bar on the black side. I think the 2-bar is fine now. They've complained a bit about that 3-bar. They've had to replace the bearings, this, that, and the other. There's a little bit of bend on the rod, and I don't know. Hate to speak for other players, but I think at some point if you think it's a bad side, then it's the bad side.
Yeah,
it's like a placebo effect of some sort.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And just to say clearly about the placebo effect, a lot of times people say placebo effect as though it's not real. Like, that's an actual thing where it's not an illusion. It's a real thing where people were actually healed by placebo pills.
Yeah.
It's not like they were just tricked into feeling better. They thought they were taking medicine and their body healed themselves. Google the placebo effect. What a pass. Google that.
Balcos Blocked by Park already this game. Park starting in the back. Again. I'm liking these switches, Clay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when switching sides, switching front and back, all that stuff. Actually, that's a song. Front and back, side to side. Late 90s.
A little too old school for me. Park, 3 blocks in a row. Beautiful pass, but just missed, though, from Byre.
Shout out to Canada Foosball there in the chat. That's a new. I didn't know that. There's a Leo tournament in Montreal in January. Hopefully, some in the USA. Hopefully, I'm not allowed in Canada. Fun fact. It's not fun, but it is a fact. I would love to play in a Leo tournament. I want to go to Worlds next year. Leo Worlds. I've been saying that for about 5 years now. Somebody wants to sponsor me. I will I'll gladly go lose your money.
Wow. You heard it here, folks.
I bet I could win rookie doubles or something. Do they have that over there?
I don't know.
I could take a rookie event probably. Maybe a beginner event.
Park on a tear now. What is that, 6 blocks?
Yeah.
Byre stole that pass attempt from the 2.
This one just left the table and came up towards us. That's what we had that shield for, thankfully. It's not why we have it, but it's fun to say.
Doesn't hurt. 2-0.
Jacob puts a lot of stank on his shots, man. He hits it hard.
He does.
You can see as he shoots, you can see his. I mean, it's not all arm. He's got his shoulder rotating a certain way, his upper body's moving a certain way. Puts that stank nasty on it.
Byre. Beautiful shot. He's what, 3 for 4 now in this 3rd game? And yeah, Trevor Park is an underrated goalie. We saw what he did in singles yesterday. You don't win open singles at Worlds without some goalie game, offensively and defensively. But him and Brandon Moreland won Colorado State, 2-3 years ago with Trevor primarily playing nets.
Yeah.
I mean, Moreland's a great forward. But don't get me wrong, Trevor, though, good goalie.
And has he been in back this whole game?
He started him back, yeah. He hasn't been up front.
0 for 6 is what he's holding Jacob to in this 3rd game. That's wild. That's good against that's good against someone who just started playing.
Yeah.
0 for 6
is
that is not a number that you see often. And against someone of Jacob's caliber, that's just wild. Shot number 7 in this game. Shot number 8 in this game.
Those are the kind of things, and I think when we talk about foosball, we talk about up-and-comers, players with Balcos' ability and time on the table and playing. These are the nerves under the bright lights of table number 1 against the recently crowned world champion.
Yeah.
You get stuck in this rut of, 8 blocks in a row now? Do something. You've got a timeout. Yeah, I know you're down by 3, but use it. Or have Marshall come up for a shot. Anything.
Yeah.
Change the tempo.
He'll break through. And this is a streak. It's unfortunate to experience, definitely tough to watch. And I actually played Jacob at Nationals, and there was a span in the match, I'll spare you the details, where I blocked him quite a few in a row. And I can tell you what it feels like as the goalie, and I don't know how Trevor is experiencing this, but for me, I could just tell there's a moment where the confidence just goes away. And I don't really have to play defense anymore at that point. All I got to do is just put something reasonable there and just expect that your lack of confidence is going to be the reason that you can't execute the shot, or you can't find the hole, or you can't ... whatever. And I think early in his career, this is probably going to be something that he should try to figure out. Why does this happen? What is this? He's still the same powerful 3-bar shooter, but something is happening at this point. Credit to Trevor for the defense, but there's holes to be found here, and he's just hitting the man. That's 10 in a row. 0 for 10 this game. With that many possessions in a single game, the game should be over. And meanwhile, they haven't scored yet.
Yeah, more than twice as many possessions as Byre.
Straight. Wow.
0 for 11. Park not scored yet from back there. Capable of it. But why not keep feeding your forward?
Right.
As he does.
And at this point, you're just watching Jacob's 3-bar just completely implode. And you'll see on that previous possession, we'll see if Trevor does it here. He's baiting this middle big time. He's not doing it here. Now he's doing the opposite. He's just parking that goalie rod back there. Finally, after 12 attempts, he's in the hole.
Park up front. See how slowly he gets that ball moving.
Way to get that man back there, Cody. Keeping that trash out.
Wow. He passed out of the dead bar of Trevor's 3.
Yeah.
Not expecting that to show up there. Starting to walk now. Parkman in the back for a while. Was this a good switch? I mean, was there any reason why Byre, who had been passing okay? I mean, I guess he's 2 for 12 in this third game.
We're going to have a fun conversation between games.
Marshall. Marshalling up the strength to watch that one go back in his own hole.
It's that pass from Cody earlier.
That is a beautiful pass. Loses that. A composure issue. Byre going to take it. We got both timeouts and calls a timeout.
Comment in the chat there is why I think Jacob beats so many good players is that he keeps playing his game. After 12 blocks, he wasn't really showing frustration. I think there's something to that. I also don't agree with it because no matter how composed you are, you still didn't score on 11 shots in a row. And I think, cover your ears if you're a Balcos fan. I'm a fan, by the way. I like him. I'd never cheer against him. This probably won't sound too good if you're rooting for him. He plays a lot. He just plays a lot. He's at every tournament, and he's really good. So he beats a lot of good players because he's a good player. Go find the upsets where he's beaten masters. And I think a lot of people are super eager to crown the next big thing in foosball, because you get a young kid who's awesome, super early, and people say that this is the next Billy Pappas, and that a lot of people did that with Jacob. It's so unfair and so unnecessary. He is a good player, he's super solid, and he's gonna be a good player for a long time. But chill out on the next big thing stuff. It's not necessary.
I agree with you 100%. It's not fair to put that kind of pressure on anybody.
Right.
4-1, it is 5-1, and Park and Byre control the match now and are up 2-1 in game count.
All right, I'm going to scroll back up here. All this is getting cut out. YouTube will never hear this. Do you play foosball? What gives you the right to say anything, Adam Gilson? Just who do you think you are? The comment I thought I saw, which I couldn't find scrolling, is those who can't whatever teach or comment.
Yeah.
As though you're not sitting at home watching. Like, you didn't do anything this week. You didn't even show up.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I just don't remember what it was though. Never put money on a 2-ball match with Adam, especially if Tyval is there. I'm not anywhere Tyval is. That's how that works.
Fourth game underway, 2-1 in favor of Park and Byre, who started off a little bit, I don't know, they didn't start off rough, but Balcos and Marshall had their opportunities and took them.
Can we get the match?
But then now in game 3, after they eked out game 2, Park and Byre just got into a groove as far as how their switches are. This all comes down right now, Clay, to what does Balcos adjust? How does he adjust? He was just bricked that last game. We see him starting off good there, scoring, getting another opportunity here to get back into this rhythm. And we see it happening before our eyes. An adjustment was made. Trevor Up front on the 5, ticking and tacking.
And with Balcos, it could be literally that fast. He's just out of the funk, and now he's scored 2 in a row. Before this shot, 3 in a row. And
Yes, come on.
Love that timeout there, and that's the whole thing. I mean, you don't want Balcos to get into his rhythm. You just absolutely don't.
which one? There we go. We need a default clear all of them button for all the sources to go off.
Yep.
Just as a safeguard. Yeah, there's a link to the brackets, bit.ly/MF brackets. And that is a shortcut that'll get you to what you're looking for. No problem. Is that a Phil Hellmuth reference, that name? Now I'm curious.
Balcos reels that in. See if he continues the hot hand here.
3 in a row.
Listen, he does use his shoulder, though, when he shoots that roller.
Yeah.
What a contrast in style between Balcos' shot and Park's shot.
Yeah.
Balcos is all just upper body, and Trevor, I don't even, it's just his wrist? Wrist in a prayer.
Marshall. Switch.
Looking to bomb here. Why not? You're up 3-0. But he passes.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I would have lost so much money if that's what you gave me to bet on, what he was going to do right there, and just drops it right. Jacob's 3-bar.
I respect it, though. I love it. Up a quick 4-0. You feed the hot hand. And I think it's a testament to Marshall. You see players that can shoot like the way Marshall can and the way that Eric Hiltner can. They very often are passing. I think that's what makes their shot so much better. That was beautiful. There he goes with the outside bank. Down 4, Byre.
Just a little off there.
Now that it's 4-0, Marshall's just going to open up the gates.
Ready, Cody?
Ready.
Like that. Ready, buddy?
Yeah.
And going back to the comment from Randy in the chat earlier, speaking to Balcos's, it's actually Balcos. We talked about this in
You're right.
I just keep saying the wrong. Jacob's composure in that last game where he got blocked 11 in a row, and he didn't take himself out of it. Even though I did say I disagreed with some of that, but it showed. I mean, coming into this fourth game, it's a new game, and he just hits a streak, hits a groove, whatever you want to call it, and it's terrifying to play against that. You feel you got a guy completely shut down, and now it's just 4-1 looking to go into the fifth game here. If your screen is black, refresh. There's 300 people here who don't have a problem. It's all good.
Balcos.
Yep.
I'm surprised to see we haven't seen anything from Dylan here in terms of scoring this match yet. He lets one loose. Gosh. That's a good pass. Jacob just didn't get it. But if he gets a hold of one and lets it loose, it's going to be loud.
It is, and you see the technique there from Marshall. That takeoff, it has the same motion as a shot.
Yeah.
To be able to reverse and go the opposite way with looks like the similar stroke, that's good.
Yeah. It's like Nolan Ryan throwing a knuckleball. A bank attempt? Is that what I saw?
I think so. Hard along the wall, Balcos. Fortunate there with the break. Buries that. We go to a 5th game.
I think he tried to spell David and just accidentally spelled David's name correctly.
Yeah, you got an accidental W on that one.
Yeah.
Literally and literally.
Occidental College, Barack Obama.
This stream of consciousness is brought to you by the 5th game. Underway now. Whoa, Trevor Park taking a lot of time on the 5 and says, yeah, let's just let Balcos do what he does.
He just tapped it right back to his 3-bar. And if you think it doesn't matter where your 3-bar is positioned when the other team is passing, go back and take a peek. Balcos shooting all the way up to 40% now. Trevor shooting 50 before this shot.
Ready, Cody? Set.
It's that Daniel Coulter pass. That one looked like it had a little angle on it. Was that me, or is that what happened?
It did have an angle.
Yeah. Take a peek here in a moment. Chipped it up. His 5-bar up to 55% now. Take a peek at that last shot. Pull it over the near side and just chipped it up, right? Cut it right through there.
Yeah.
I mean, still got around it. Still just had that angle on it. Trevor getting some more coaching there. He's had some quartermen this weekend.
Yeah. Got the Billy corner.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's some of my favorite shots from last night was just Billy literally jumping, like just jumping in celebration. Loosen your grip.
Can't wait to see how you cut that one up, Clay.
Well, if he scores here.
No, I meant the Billy corner. This one too.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll turn it into a workout video.
That's awesome.
Peppa size.
Peppa size.
Yes.
Balcos on a tear.
There's a tight hole.
So if Balcos and Marshall pull this out, you wouldn't call this an upset.
I think technically it's probably more of an underdog situation. I don't think I would call it an upset under normal circumstances. With Trevor having the weekend he's having and how well he's playing, winning open singles, I also wouldn't agree if somebody else. I wouldn't disagree if somebody else called it an upset. So I wouldn't, but some might. I like that non-committal.
Yeah,
been working on it.
There's Marshall bombing from back there. It is match point now for Balcos and Marshall. Park, workmanlike though, getting the 5 to the 3 after that little incident, first possession. It's interesting. I think it was already coming back off the wall when he jumped for it.
He's bombs away now. There will be no more passing.
Trevor's baiting. And timeout called.
This is that last shot. Took him 5.5 games to get here. 4.5 games. He finally turned one loose from back there. Not a bad goalie to have in your corner over there either.
Marshall, match point. Just off the small box. Trying to do that pull kick, open-handed bank.
Yeah, I'd like to see a pull kick. And he has a nasty one.
But it's a pass to Balcos.
How do you see that coming?
They're out of timeouts. Balcos has to take the shot. Byre back there. Puts that away. In 5 games, Trevor Park and Cody Byre are defeated by Jacob Balcos and Dylan Marshall, who move on to the next round.